Hello,
Asking.
Gail.
Hi, Kelley. Lovely to be here.
So nice to have you on my very, very first show. This is Conversations
Yeah,
with Kelley, and ta-da! It's
this
finally
is so
happening.
exciting. This is brilliant. I'm honored to be here with you.
Well, I have to tell you all that Gail Weiner is a good friend now and a life coach, and she's someone who's helped me to get to this point. And so that's why I'm excited because Gail was like, "Come on, Kelley, just do it already." So here we are.
Yes, and here we
And
are.
and we're jumping into a topic that's close to both of our hearts because that's how we connected. And that came off the back of you writing this article, this blog post, which was entitled Ultra Independence is a Trauma Response. And I remember seeing it and having my own visceral response.
Yeah,
Because as you
yeah.
point out in the very first line, we just assume that independence is a strength. And so when I read it, I'd never really put it with trauma. I never linked it to trauma. So maybe a starting point for us is just for you to tell me, if you don't mind sharing a little bit about your own backstory, what prompted you and inspired you to write that?
Kelley, I saw something similar. I saw someone had posted just the words, ultra independence is a trauma response. And it kicked me. It kicked me into, wow, this independence I've sat behind for so many years has been hiding trauma, the things that have happened to me in my past. Grief of losing my sister when I was in my 20s, the grief of my marriage, the demise of my marriage, dating a narcissistic man, things like that, trauma compounded. And I believed I could hide behind it by not letting people in. I'll build more and more and more walls and be able to do things alone. And by doing things alone, nobody can hurt me. The people I'll let in will be weaker than me. I will be the strong one. I have to hold everything up. And I learned from a young age that I needed to do that. We can grow up in homes where we take on the role of a youngster, of an adult at a young age. Those things lead us to believing independence is the answer. And independence is pushed on us. It's been pushed on us all the time. Be independent. Come on, woman, you can do this. You can be
Yeah.
independent. But
Yes.
it's not what we need. Of course, we need to be independent in certain ways, but not to the extreme we've taken it.
Yeah. And like you say, especially women now, it's something that's really foisted on us. And it feels powerful in so many ways.
Yeah, yeah.
And it probably, you and I talk a lot in our sessions about the masculine, feminine energies within each of us. And there is something about that that makes you feel, I've got this. I don't need anyone. I'm self-sufficient,
Yes,
self-reliant for me.
yes.
I think where we fall down is because a lot of us are quite good at asserting ourselves, maybe in the workplace and that, but it's emotionally. That's one of the things I find a really tricky place in terms of being self-reliant emotionally. We can't get all of our emotional needs fulfilled purely on our own. Do you agree?
No, but we become afraid of it.
Yeah.
And ultra independents are scared of love.
Mhm.
Ultra independents have been hurt. They have been hurt by their father, their mother, um, their first love, their husbands, their girlfriends, whatever. They've been hurt,
Yeah.
and they will not let that love come in again because love hurts.
Mhm.
So if you say to an ultra independent, if you say the word vulnerable to them, they're immediately going to say that's weak. That's weakness. That's
Mm.
weakness. I can't be vulnerable.
Mhm.
And as far as the masculine and feminine goes, we tend to move into the masculine role in order to protect ourselves. Masculine is the protector. Masculine is the doer. So in a work environment, we work very much under the masculine of doing things. And we learn that if we can build the protection around ourselves, no one can get in and hurt us. And our walls get higher and higher. And the emotional connections get less and less. And
Mm.
people will look from the outside, people look in and go, whoa, they should look at me and go, whoa, she's so independent. She doesn't need anyone. She doesn't need anyone. She can do it all alone. Meanwhile, inside, I was screaming for someone to help me, but no one would offer help because they think, well, Gail's got it. Gail's got this. She doesn't need help. Or they might even be a little bit nervous to offer me help because she's going to get offended. She's got this. You can't ask her if she needs
Yeah.
help.
Yeah. And am I right? That cry that you talk about, because I honestly found myself doing that only 2 days ago, literally weeping and weeping. Sorry about the noise, guys. I live on a high street. Hey. That cry is the cry of the inner child. Am I right? Who didn't have anyone to turn to for his or her needs. And that cry is, as you say, it's that desperate cry of, I just cannot do this on my own anymore. And we both know, I mean, I certainly know, chatting to my female friends who are successful and together on the outside, we, even amongst ourselves, are afraid to admit how fragile and vulnerable we feel, because it's almost like, well, I've got no choice. No one's coming to save me.
Exactly.
And that's the cry of the child, of just like, help.
Exactly. But we also don't trust people. We don't trust people enough that they are going to help us. We don't trust people that they can look after us as well. And it's not the matter of being safe, because that also comes from our inner child of believing that the knight in shining armor is coming to save us, which isn't the case. But it's also being able to say to other people, I need help. We will cry alone and we'll say, I wish people would help us, but we will never ask for help. And one of the things I teach people that come to me and I guide them with is asking for help. Start asking for it. Say to people, I need a bit of help here. I need someone. I know you're good at this. Can you help me? But we've been taught, be independent and do everything alone. Bring up the kids alone. Go to work. Look after the house. Take the dustbins outside. Fix your car. Do all of these things, because if I ask for help, I am then showing I am weak. To myself, I'm showing I'm weak, and it means I can't do it. I'm not capable. I'm not the Wonder Woman I thought I was.
Yeah. And of course, then come the codependent relationships, which I know so well. And that's something you highlight in this article so brilliantly. And you talk about codependency with ourselves, but maybe you can just take us back to this pull that we have towards codependent relationships. And you talk about the key thing, which is that feeling of being in control. And oh my God, do I know it so well. Give me a healthy relationship with a man, not interested. What is my purpose here? What is my role? There's nothing for me to do. He just wants to give to me. That feels weird and uncomfortable. I need to be the one in control, trying to take care of someone.
Oh, totally. You ultra independents love codependence. Codependents love ultra independence. The ultra independent comes in with control. I want to be in control. I'm going to control this relationship. The codependent is usually a victim mentality, or someone that is that the ultra independent views as weaker than them. They can control it. They can control this love, but it doesn't work like that, because it becomes more complicated than that. The ultra independent wants to save this person. The ultra independent from trauma in their past believes that if I'm not in control and I'm not saving someone and helping someone, what am I worth? Why is this person standing in front of me if I am not saving them? And if you take away that saving, and that's why healthy relationships are a problem for the ultra independent, because they're seeing this as, why is this person in front of me? What do they want from me? What do they need from me? They need to need something. They always need to need something. And the ultra always wants to give, because they don't like to take. They don't like someone else taking the lead. They want to be in control. Wouldn't it be lovely for you to be invited away for a weekend where you don't have to think about a thing? Kelly. The person says to you, I'm taking you away. Don't worry about it. I'm fetching you on Friday. I'm taking you out. I'll bring you back on Sunday. Most of us, it would scare. For me, as an ultra independent, I'd be like, but where are we going? When are we going to be back? How are we getting back? How are we getting there? What are we doing?
Hence my laughing, because I'm like, that sounds quite nice, girl.
Right, and that is why the codependent is so appealing, because they do need you. They keep you having the control, and they need you. And the codependent can smell an ultra independent from a mile away. They are always there. They're like, I can see it. I can see it, and this person's going to look after me and take all my pain away. I have got an article that I wrote on my blog site as well on the ultra independent and codependent. You can read that as well. It's just based entirely on the relationship between the two.
Well, it's interesting. So you use that dynamic, the codependent with the ultra independent, because obviously what we're so used to hearing about now is the narcissist with the codependent.
Yes.
Different things, different dynamic, or similar?
Well, the ultra independent and the narcissist also tend to have great relationships, because there it's a battle of control. There it's the narcissist sees a strong person, because what a lot of people and a lot of victims of narcissists take the blame themselves, and they immediately say it's because I was weak. It was because I was weak that I was taken advantage of. The narcissist actually likes the stronger ones, because the stronger ones are more of a challenge to them. It's more of a game that they can play to break this person down. They like the ultra independent, because the ultra independent doesn't let anyone else in. The ultra independent's got it all in control. They come in with their love bombing and their ways of manipulation. And from the ultra independent side, they look at the narcissist and they're like, oh, no, 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 no. I'm usually in control. I'm usually the strong one here. There is no ways I'm going to be weak. I will fight this to the death. I will make this person feel for me the way I feel for them. I will get that love that the narcissist first showed me in those initial weeks. I will get that back. I will get it. And it is a constant battleground between the two of them.
I know this pattern way too well. And obviously we have to take it right back to the root cause in childhood. And I mean, we could unpack that for hours and hours, but where did you identify that for yourself? And is that a place that you take your clients to when you're unpacking?
I do. Yes, I work a lot on generational trauma. And all of us have got generational trauma that we have experienced firsthand from our parents, our grandparents, that we experienced in the home. Could have been a divorce going on, our parents fighting. A sibling could have been a narcissist that fought with us. It could have been narcissistic mother, narcissistic father, abuse at home, all of those things. But there's also where I look further at the parents, your parents, and their parents. What was the upbringing like? What did they go through? What did the grandparents go through? We carry a lot of what our ancestors have given us. A lot of what grandparents and our parents have experienced comes down to us. It comes down epigenetically. Yeah. And it comes down from experiences, and we carry all of it. So it's a very, very important part of healing and understanding where the trauma starts from. Generational trauma is very, very important.
It really is. And I also want to offer people some hope, though, because it's a very difficult and very painful cycle to break. It's also incredibly hard to spot at times, because you feel attracted and you think, oh, I'm attracted, I'm so loved, we've got a connection. And I know myself now, as soon as I say that, I'm like, all right, come back.
Yeah, but that's you learning.
Become conscious. Yes. So awareness for me is key.
I love what you said there, because it is awareness. You got to catch yourself. We'll never change those things. They come up for me. They come up where I'm quite attracted to narcissistic people and the codependent. And I have to catch myself. It doesn't mean I'm not attracted to them anymore, but I have to stand back and go, wait, exactly like you just said, I'm aware of this. I'm aware of where I'm going here. I'm aware of this pattern. I'm not going to repeat it, because the aim is to break the patterns. That's what it is. And it takes practice to break the patterns. You're not just going to suddenly go, oh, I'm ultra independent. I go for codependence. I understand this pattern. Now I'm done. It's going through it, Kelley, over and over until you learn exactly how to stop it. And you say, no more, no more. I'm not going to do it. I see the pattern. It's not a but or a if here. This is a red flag. This is the type of relationship that's a red flag. I'm not going to go there. I've got an ongoing joke in my sessions, which I talk about Seth Rogen, because I love to talk about Seth Rogen.
I was just thinking about him and your.
I decided a couple of years back. I decided I'm aware of my pattern. I'm aware of the type of men I go for. My favorite was the starving poet. I love the good-looking starving poet. I'm going to fix him. I'm going to make him famous. I'm going to be his muse. I'm going to do everything for him. And it was exhausting. I decided I'm going to go for guys like Seth Rogen. So I started looking at pictures of Seth Rogen. I was like, hey, he's a good guy, good Jewish boy, happy, makes his wife happy. He's a good guy. I'm going to go for guys like him. I started to look at that and bring patterns in. These are the type of men I want to date. And I remember going, it was about 4 years ago, I went to a party. And I was at the party, and I swear, Kelley, I had 4 Seth Rogans sitting around me. I was actually laughing because the minute we start attracting those kind of things in, the minute we say, these are the type of thing, I don't go for that starving poet anymore. This is who I go for.
Right.
Those are the people that we are going to see. Those are the people we're going to notice. But when we're still looking, change the patterns, then you change your perceptions. And I immediately was drawn to those type of people at the party. That's who I sat with. That's who I wanted to meet. And those are the things, and those are the things we need to learn. And it's training ourselves, because somewhere along the line,
the brain. Oh,
totally. And somewhere along the line, I'd felt there's also a comfort in what we know. Of course, there's a comfort. So there's a comfort in saying, I am going to go for the codependent because I know the outcome. Even if the outcome's going to be bad, I'm going to love the up and downs. I'm going to love what the drama.
Oh, yes, especially if you have a fear of intimacy and getting really close to someone who really sees you.
Totally. Recently, I was speaking to a guy from the US, and he was sitting in his masculine strengths, which I talk a lot about, that you know, Kelley, where the masculine strengths are authoritative. He was a doer. He was dominant, but not in a narcissistic way, not in a way which was aggressive. I perceived all of his strengths as masculine weaknesses. After a 45-minute conversation, I believed I was speaking to a misogynist. I had to step back for a moment and realize that he was coming from the masculine strengths. I was so used to being the masculine strength. I was so used to playing the role of the strong one that it was scary to meet someone that was coming from those strengths. And because I've always been around men who either show up in the masculine weaknesses or show up in the feminine weaknesses, which are drama queens, moody. And those things were what I was used to and what I was attracted to. I didn't know how to show up to a man standing in their strengths. It takes practice.
It takes practice. And also it's a very, very peculiar thing, because as you grow on this path and you learn and you cultivating more self-love, because that's at the end of the day what we're all here to do, is cultivate self-love, self-respect. A weird thing happens, which is that people start to lose their appeal when you haven't got that strong magnetic attraction, and suddenly you think, maybe there's no chemistry here, maybe there's no because that's what you've mistaken for love.
There you go. And that is all. Those are the chemical reactions that come. That's the dopamine, the serotonin. That's all of the things that you are thinking is love, that you've only ever associated with. I am in love, or I am used to this. Love is supposed to have ups and downs. Love is supposed to be drama. I'm supposed to be having drama on week 2 if I'm dating someone. And everything else seems mediocre. It doesn't.
It does seem dull to me. It seems a bit flat. It seems like, where's the and then.
But that what is that?
I know what that.
That is the drama. That's the drama. We don't need it, but we crave it.
We don't need it. There is an addiction to it as well.
Yes, it is.
And we could, unpack the trauma bonding and how the body responds. I mean, and I would certainly love to carry this conversation on with you, because I think we're only scratching the surface here today.
Yeah.
And I just want to say something really funny. Your Seth Rogen switch. Okay, which I think actually we need to do in my next session. So this is when I knew I was making headway in mine, because my crush was always Mr. Unavailable, Leonardo DiCaprio. And it was
Okay. I was going to say something nasty, but I'm not going to.
I was going to say, like, about, I don't know, a year or 2 ago, I just suddenly was feeling quite repulsed by him, and I thought, yes, you've broken your pattern.
There you go. And it is about breaking. And all of these are patterns, and we work exactly. We programmed, and we can reprogram ourselves. And that is the joy of being human. We can reprogram ourselves. It's just anything we do, we can reprogram. We need to identify. As an ultra independent, you need to sit with yourself and say, okay, how can I change? How can I become vulnerable? How can I let people in? How can I give stuff away so I'm not carrying all of this burden, but still show up in my authenticity,
Yes,
but
yes,
not walk around like I am Wonder Woman all the time. And
yes.
once you work that, then unpack what happened, what needs to happen, what are my strengths, work on those strengths.
Yeah, yeah.
I do all of that in my sessions. I cover all of those things, and it's a progress. It's work in
It
progress.
is. It's work. You have to keep working on this stuff. You can't just let it slide because,
No
the
way.
minute you think you've nailed it, oh, believe me, guys.
Yeah.
And
That's how self-reflection works.
yeah,
We keep having to look deeper, see what's going on, fix it.
yes.
And I find
Yes.
it quite exciting. I like to unpack
I
things.
enjoy it because when you start to see the progress and the people that do start to show up in your environment, especially as you become more conscious, because really, I can't really, it's impossible to describe if you haven't had an upbringing like that and you're not dealing with that. However, I do tend to think 99% of humans are dealing with this. Don't you think, Gail? Honestly, like
Dealing
we
with
find
which
ourselves
part?
with being in some kind of dynamic of this power play in relationships, dysfunction. There's some kind of codependence involved somewhere.
No.
Do you not
No,
think so?
no, I don't think so. I don't think so. And there's been stages in my past where I've thought everyone has, and no. And that is the
Wow.
perception again. That is the perception of everyone else is feeling this. There are many very healthy relationships where people are healthy with each other. There's no codependency. There is just an equal love, equal respect, and equal friendship in it. And
Wow.
those are what
How
we are.
many do you know like that? Do you think it's because this is what I am, so therefore I attract those kind of
It's the same.
people,
It's the
right?
same as the Seth Rogen. It's the same as the Seth Rogen thing, because you believe that this is where I vibrate. This is where the people are. That everyone is like this. That's what's going to come into your life. That's what's going to be there.
I think what I assume is that it's almost part of human evolution, that this is how society has been structured and set up to have these codependent relationships in terms of being quite transactional. And so I feel like it was almost a human template, and that it's something we've come to break to shift into more of an interdependent relating. So that's why I think I almost view it as a human stage of evolution.
I think that what you need to do with exactly what you've said there is move into the I only attract interdependent relationships. I am breaking the cycles of these relationships, or as you view it collectively, I'm breaking the cycles for everyone around me. And when we do this work, it is to remember that we do it for the descendants that come after us. We do it for the generations that come after us. We do it for the women that are going to walk after us, because we don't want them to have to walk around and believe they have to be so independent in order to live in this world.
Yeah. And just finally on that note, it's interesting because I don't want to leave the guys out here, of course, either, because there are so many men I know, a lot of men I know in a very similar situation.
Oh, totally.
And who isolate.
I wish one of them would. Yeah, I wish one of them would come in and do a course with me, because I've yet to have a male contact me to say that he feels he's ultra independent. I haven't had it yet. On Facebook the other day, I did have someone comment on my ultra independence group that was male, and he said he's feeling this, and I was like, oh, like someone is feeling, I think with men, it's always been a difficult thing. Men are only recently coming to terms with that they can be emotional. They have been stifled for so long that don't cry, don't show emotion, be stoic.
Yes.
And hopefully that is breaking down, because I know many men that are ultra independent, many.
Yeah, and then they tend to suffer in silence. We, at least as women, tend to reach out for help a little bit more, at least to our girlfriends and that. Also, I mean, we also have the same issue. Not everybody wants to go for therapy or unpack this, but we tend to, as you know, reach out for help a little bit more and want to heal and nurture ourselves and take care of our emotional bodies.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Gail, thank you so much. Honestly, I can talk about this forever, because it's been at the heart of my healing journey, as it has, I know, yours. And and it's nice to know that it's possible to have those healthier relationships, especially with yourself, right?
Yes. With yourself, and then everything else follows. All the heal yourself, and all the relationships around you will heal too.
Yeah.
They will be different. I can promise you that.
Yeah. Wonderful.
Kelley, thank you
for
so
your
much for having me on.
And I'm going to put all your details in the description box below, because Gail offers an 8-week package and various other wonderful things. So thank you. Take care.
Thank you.
All righty.
Bye, Kelley.
Bye.
Bye.